All right. Hey, it's Deacon, the Territory Battle Officer for House of Wren. And this is the spreadsheet that I use to calculate how many stars we're getting now versus how many stars we could potentially get in the future. So right now, we're sitting at 21 stars. Next step is to try and get 23. So to explain the spreadsheet, right? So that's the assumption that by the time the next territory battle starts, we'll be at 310 million GP. Right? And then everything up here is the straight hard data, right? So it's broken up by relic tier, relic 5, relic 6, relic 7, dark, mixed light, and then the planets that's associated with it. And then it shows the number of combined points, so GP deployed, combat missions, ops required to get both the 1 and 3 stars for each zone. That's really important because you need to know how many points you need to get 3 stars, and you also need to know what the minimum amount to get 1 star is. So if you're preloading, you could stay below it. Right? And then the number of operations that right now we are or should be able to fill um, for each zone, and then how many points that number of operations is. So for the Relic 5 content, um, the ops are each worth 10 million, Relic 6, 11 million, Relic 7, 13.2 million. That also goes into how much each combat mission, fully completed combat mission, is worth, because half of a combat mission, like one wave, is worth 50% of the full completion. Right? So it's 200,000 for tier 5, 200 and a half thousand for 6, and then 340,000 per completed combat mission for relic 7. But it doesn't take into account the fact that the fleet um, combat missions give so much more points than the ground unit ones. And then we're running on the assumption, hopefully right up until we get into the relic 7 content, that everybody in the guild is able to complete 1.5 combat missions per zone per phase. Right? And so right now our plan isn't changing going forward from what it is. Right? So day 1, 3-star dark side, preload, mid, and light side. Day 2, 3-star light side and mid, close off relic 5, and then preload dark side. Day 3, 3-star dark side, preload mid and light side. Day 4, 3-star light side, preload relic 6 mid and relic 7 dark side. Day 5, 3-star mid, that closes off the rest of the tier relic 6 content, preload dark side. And then where we're going to get the extra stars, if we are able to follow the roadmap, is we should be able to get the 3 stars in the dark side on day 6 we've been getting, but we should have enough preload GP from the previous phases to hit 2 stars mid. And so each zone takes the number of points from the ops, the amount of points we're going to assume we can get from completed combat missions, and then subtracts that from your 3-star total to show you how much GP you need to deploy in order to get the 3rd star. In this case, if all these numbers are right, we need to deploy 174 million GP on Mustafar to hit the 3rd star, which leaves us 136 million left to split up between Corellia and Coruscant as the preloads, which keeps us approximately 30 million GP away from that 1st star. Right, so these are the numbers that become more and more important as we um, grow in GP as a guild, where we get to the point where we either leave GP on the table because we can't push over into the next star, or we start looking at, can we 3-star 2 zones at the same time, especially on tier 1. Right, so that's day 1, dark side. Day 2, that we finish off mid and light side, and then that's all of the tier 5 done, and it just progresses on down the road. Preload, star, preload, preload, star, preload, preload, star, preload, preload, and then we get into hitting extra stars. Right, so this will be the mid Tatooine, where if we maximize the deployments and combat missions and everything, we currently have, uh, if we can get to that 310 million, we will have enough firepower to get those 2 stars with a little bit extra spare on day 3, right? So that shows what the total of the stars of all of this works out, and then by each phase how much GP is deployed. So if we do it this way, when we go into the preload for dark side on day 2 and we hit the max stars on light and neutral, that's the one spot where we're leaving GP on the table. It does give us a little bit of wiggle room, but then you look at, here's the wiggle room that we have, like 100 billion per zone, down to where it gets a bit complicated on day 4, where we're trying to preload light side Braca with as much as we can possibly throw into it. We're looking at being 200,000 short of that first star. One messed up deployment pushes it over, and it throws the rest of the math out of whack. Anyway, that's a quick summary of how the spreadsheet works. What I'm going to do is finish this off, upload it, and then show how I use Echobase, how this does all of the operations assignments, and shows, you know, how all of these numbers are going to work, as well as where we could potentially start finding efficiencies.